Thanks so much, George. I really appreciate it. Today I'm here with Dan Caseberg to talk about his account on the USS Yorktown. Dan, let's start off from the beginning. What was life like in the Navy for you?
Join the Navy and see the world was a slogan that captured my attention and made me want to run and join the Navy. But I was only 17 when I graduated, and I had to wait till I was 18. But I couldn't wait to get out of Wasco, Oregon, and serve my country. So I did so in October. And my first assignment, I take that back. I was a mere 5'5" and 132 pounds, soaking wet. And my first assignment was the USS Saratoga, which was a sister ship to the USS Lexington.
Awesome. I know you were a yeoman back on the ship. What was some of your duties as a yeoman?
As a yeoman, one of my duties was keeping flight logs on each pilot, time out, time in. And many of these pilots became well known after the war began. In November, I remember we were under wartime conditions, so darkened ship, no smoking, no lights, so that the Japanese ships couldn't detect us. And that's why I have never understood how Pearl Harbor was such a surprise. It was common knowledge that President Roosevelt wanted in the war.
How did you respond to the attack on Pearl Harbor?
The attack on Pearl Harbor was a real jolt. We pulled in Pearl Harbor the night after the attack, or the night of the attack, and whenever I think of it, the smell of burning flesh, fuel, and exploded gunpowder, it returns, or at least it seems to.
So how did you end up on the Yorktown?
Well, January 11th, we were out guarding Hawaii shores, and we felt the Sarah shudder as she was hit by a torpedo and pushed upward. The damage was extensive, and after I was sent TAD to the USS Yorktown. However, she had already been badly damaged herself, and at the time, Admiral Nimitz, the CO of the Yorktown, was told that the damages would take 3 months to repair, and he said absolutely not, 3 days. And he definitely didn't allow it to go any other way. 3 days later, she was battle ready, and we set out to Midway.
Wow. What do you recall on June 4th, 1942?
I was doing my regularly assigned duties as a talker. The air officer called down, and I made the call, pilots, man your planes. And sadly, that was the last time all but 2 of the pilots and 1 of the crew members came back. The rest never returned. It didn't take long after the gunfire to start. The chattering noises it caused me to remember when my dad and I would throw firecrackers into the gun or into drum barrels, and except this time it was me in the drum barrel. And I remember a heavy bomb exploded on the deck and caused a 12 by 12 hole. I left my office, and not 10 seconds later, another bomb hit, and it destroyed the very office I was in. It would have killed me. Fortunately, in just a few hours, we had her back and running in running order. But we could only get her up to 18 or 20 knots, and that was it. She was hurt. The 2 torpedoes hit right below the water line, and she seemed to list 26 degrees immediately. However, we were hit again, and at this point we were dead in the water. She was a sitting duck. The destroyer USS Hammond hooked up to us and started escorting us home. And we worked through the night to try and repair the damages that had been done to the Yorktown. And it began to look promising that we were going to be able to save her. However, the following day, I was below decks when another explosion happened and threw me from one side to the other. The even heavier list to the port side made it difficult to even walk. As I came to the flight deck, I saw bodies were stacking like firewood, and shortly after, I remember hearing them call out, "All hands, abandon ship." As I started lowering myself down the line, the person following me stepped on my grip, which gave way, and I plunged downward. We abandoned the ship from the high side, and it was sad to see some people jump off, literally tie their life jackets on, jump off, and by the time they hit the water, the impact would snap their necks. And best keep your wits about you in that kind of situation. The destroyers were milling around trying to rescue people. I was eventually picked up by the USS Russell, but many lives weren't saved as people floated in that vast ocean, and I can't begin to think how they felt. So many young people lost their lives right as they were becoming adults. It's such a waste. However, the real heroes died that day. They're the ones that won the victory.
Wow. Well, thank you, Dan, for coming out and talking with us today.
Absolutely.
I really appreciate it. George, back to you.